Hey Bestie Cats, my name is Charlotte and thank you so much for tuning into my Cash Envelope System series. Today we are going to close out paycheck number 1 for January, see what's left over, and then budget out for paycheck number 2. Let's get started. Prior to starting the cash envelope system, it's important to spend a whole month tracking all of your expenses so that you can make the most realistic budget for yourself and so that you stick to it. Personally, I like to separate my paycheck into 3 categories: savings, fixed expenses, and variable expenses. I like to pay myself first with savings, where I have an emergency savings and a travel savings account. Fixed expenses are set amounts each month that you know are going to come up. So for this paycheck, I have rent, water, auto insurance, car payment, different memberships, phone bill, donations to charity, and some credit card and loan debt, all due during this paycheck's stint. Then you have variable expenses. These are more readily changeable, and this is where we're going to focus with the cash envelope system, with groceries, car payments and gas, restaurants, entertainment, beauty, hobbies, gifts, and clothes. So since I get paid twice a month, I'm gonna go ahead and fill in where my paycheck number 2 is gonna go for each item over the next 2 weeks. For this paycheck, I received $35.48, and you'll notice I won't be including cents in this series. I like to round up to the nearest dollar to help with encouraging savings where I can. So out of the $3,548 that this paycheck is giving me, I'm going to pay myself $20 to my emergency savings, and this is because my first paycheck puts a lot more into my emergency savings, so this is kind of just to encourage constant income into my emergency savings. For my travel fund, I'm going to put 0, and that's going to be because of some debt that I accrued from most recent travel, so that money will instead be going towards debt in the fixed expenses category. As for my fixed expenses, my rent for paycheck number 2 is $17.50. My water bill is going to come out to be $65. Auto insurance will be $63. Car payment at the end of the month is going to be $248. My different memberships will end up being $80 by the end of the month. Phone bill for my husband and I is $100. I donate to the Nature Conservancy charity, and that's $25 a month. And then for my credit card and personal loan debt for this month, it's going to be $700 on this paycheck. And again, that's to cover, I would normally put it into my travel fund, but I had a few things come up, so I had to charge a credit card. But it's all good, it'll be paid off. And as for variable expenses, this is going to be everything that's left over after this, where I'll be able to spend what I calculated, $500 without going into more debt. For groceries, I'm going to be budgeting out $140 for my car to include gas and future repairs, future registration. It's going to be $140. When you're making your budget, it's also important to have your calendar readily available. I happened to look at my calendar before I started making this video and got reminded of a few car trips that I'm going to be taking, road trips. I'm in the unfortunate situation, my husband lives 7 hours away right now, so I'll be making a trip this weekend to see him, so that'll be about $60 to $100 in just that one alone. But normally my gas is about $30 a week. As for restaurants, I'm going to budget out $40, and also for entertainment, I'll budget out $40. As for beauty, I'll be putting $100 in. Hobbies, $20. Gifts, $20. And clothes, $10. So now that we have paycheck number 2 budgeted out on paper, we're gonna go ahead with the cash envelope system and transition to binder and physical cash. Again, you don't need anything fancy to start the cash envelope system. And of course, as you get more involved in it, it becomes more of a hobby. There's tons of options out there to have more decorated binders, more fancy savings challenges, and so forth. But for me, I bought this a few years ago and I ended up finding it in one of my office supplies boxes in my storage unit. So all I've done is added Sharpies to make sure I knew what section was each quote-unquote envelope, and of course put money into it. As we go through each envelope from paycheck 1, I'm going to take the money and set it aside so that I can put that towards a savings challenge. For me, again, I keep things simple, so my savings challenge is to fill up this llama statue. Right now I've got some coins. Again, I'm not including cents when I'm budgeting because this could total out to be $100 one day once it's filled. Who knows? We'll aim for it. So I'll go ahead and put the llama nice there. I love llamas. And we'll review what we've saved with the system. For my first paycheck, I budgeted $140 towards grocery, and I ended up with $4. Put that right there. Thank you, little llama. Let me know in the comments if you want to name the llama, and we can continue that through the series. As for my car, so gas specifically was a big one this week. I had originally budgeted out $60 and ended up now, again, $4. I'll get better with handling money as the series comes on. As for restaurants, I budgeted $60. I ended up spending it all, but I was gifted a Starbucks gift card for Christmas, and I still have some money on that, about $5. It's a nice coffee treat. For entertainment, I budgeted $40, and I ended up with $21 left over. That's cool. That was for a while my biggest expense. And then for beauty, I had originally budgeted out $60, and I have $0 left. So that was a good budget item since I didn't go negative. As for clothes, I budgeted out $20. I ended up with $40. I was gifted some money there, so I thought that'd be cool. Money and clothes. And for hobbies, I had budgeted out $20. I ended up doing a rebate for my tires, and I got a $70 Visa prepaid, so I'm gonna have that as a savings tool for future hobbies, any investments. One of my biggest hobbies is card making, so that'll be nice in the long run. And my last category, gifts, I had budgeted $20 and I received $10 left over. All right, now that paycheck number 1 is done, we have empty envelopes to start with paycheck number 2. One thing I talked about while making this video is using my llama statue as a savings challenge. I kind of just want to use it as more of a piggy bank. So I'm going to actually take out the bills. So I've got $80 just saved from last paycheck, which is honestly amazing. I didn't expect that from myself. And instead, I'm going to use this basic envelope to start my $500 savings challenge, which I'm hoping to use either for student loans that I still have or putting it towards my emergency savings. So the goal would be in 5 months to have $500 saved up from whatever I don't spend in my budget. As I mentioned previously in the video, you really don't need to spend a lot of money on budgeting, if any. There's a lot of free tools, free resources, and like I said, I'm gonna keep it simple with this simple envelope, and each time I go to do my cash envelope system, which hopefully you'll tune in for, I'm going to be adding money into this specific envelope, anything that's left over. And that's only gonna further encourage me from spending money just because it's still in my budget. All right, Bestie Cats, I had to return to the video, so I made a calculation error. Hopefully I don't have enough haters yet for it. So I had to adjust my clothes to 10 and my gifts to 10, vice the 20 and 10 here already, because I had over $500, which is not what I wanted. So to fix that, my ATM only does 20s and 50s, unfortunately. So I took a 20 and put it into my savings challenge, and now I have a $10 in ones, and then I'll have to use, it's $9 in ones, and then I'll have to use some quarters to make sure I make up for that little accounting error. I'm not an accountant. But let's get started. For groceries this month, I'm going to be contributing $140. All facing the same way. They are not. I won't do that. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 100, 120, 140. For my gas and future car repairs, I'm putting in 140 as well. Restaurants, this paycheck, I'm putting in $40. This is definitely one of the harder ones to abide by, for me at least. I am so readily available to Uber Eats or order out, but this is gonna honestly help me with some other goals that I have for 2025 regarding health and diet, exercise, all of that good stuff. For entertainment, I'm also putting in $40. I don't have any planned outings or movies, things like that, so hopefully that'll do. It worked last month. As for beauty, I'm budgeting out $100, and this is gonna go towards mostly my nails getting redone. You know, I gotta keep up a good appearance for these videos so that my Bestie Cats are like complimenting my nails or whatever. As for hobbies, I'm putting in a $20 bill, and again, I have that $70 Visa prepaid, so that is definitely going to be useful when I'm going to buy some different cardstock or card making tools like stamps. As for gifts, I'm putting in the $10. So like I said, I took it out of the savings challenge, but I replaced it with a 20 for both gifts and clothes. And finally for clothes, it's that $10. So again, I've got 9 ones, and then I'll use some quarters. Does anyone still collect quarters? Every now and then I get a really shiny quarter and get reminded that people used to sit there and collect 25 cents whenever they could. We'll just go ahead and check it out. What do we have here? Nice. That's basic. So basic. And more basic. Put that in clothes. And there we have it. So this is the $20 that needs to go in the llama. I can be forgetful. There you have it. Paycheck number 2, budgeted out. I'll let you know come paycheck number 1 for February where I stand with how I spent my money and what's left over. Thanks for tuning in, Bestie Cats, again to my cash envelope series. I hope it helps you and we can become budgeting besties. I'll see you next time.